this big blue in their legacy jerseys, celebrating the win over the Washington Commanders. 14-7 is the final score as Jason Pinnock running off the field, congratulating some of his teammates. Welcome in Madelyn Burke, the Super Bowl champ Sean O'Hara, and the Super Bowl champ Amani Toomer. 14-7,
yeah!
A great win for these New York Football Giants at home.
Yeah, Madelyn, let's get pumped up. This is what we've been waiting for.
We are pumped. It's cold, it's windy, but we are thrilled to be here recapping this win. Don't feel a thing.
You don't feel a thing when you win. It's like whatever, right?
Yeah. It's all worth it. It's all worth being out here.
Take the pain, soldier.
Exactly. Soldiering up.
Exactly. Soldiering up indeed. And this game, from the start, the Giants got the offense going, the defense going. They had pressure on quarterback Sam Howell. The offense was getting chunk plays down the field. When you look at this one, what was going right for the Giants, Sean?
Yeah, well, coming into this game, it was who's playing at what position on the offensive line. Tyree Phillips just activated from the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad. He starts at right tackle, so no Evan Neal. Just another different starting combination of the line. So you're wondering, all right, is it going to be a slow start? But I think this offense really provided a spark. The defense, all of a sudden, you could feel them feeding off of the offense. Saquon, obviously, with another big game, but Darren Waller getting his first touchdown as a New York Giant. I can't give enough credit to Tyrod Taylor for what he's done, stepping in 2 weeks in a row now. Look, the Giants should have beat Buffalo last week. They came through today, and I think Tyrod Taylor deserves a lot of credit for getting the ball out.
Absolutely.
He had some dimes that he dropped out there. The throw to Jalen Hyatt comes to mind. He had another nice throw to Darius Slayton as well. His throws outside the numbers have been phenomenal. They've been spot on, and I think that created a spark. And even when he didn't have a deep throw of money, there were times where he just did a great job. Just, you know what? I don't like the first read. I'm just going to put my foot in the ground and go get 4 or 5 yards.
Absolutely. He absolutely controlled the game. And he was like a great point guard, just getting the ball to his playmakers. There was a drive where there was 5 20-plus yards plays. And I think the Giants leading up to this had the worst 20-plus yard big plays accumulations throughout the entire NFL. So you're seeing an offense coming together. You're seeing Waller starting to emerge. You're seeing Saquon Barkley becoming the factor with over 100 all-purpose yards. Even though he had that critical fumble, the Giants were able to pick themselves up and really put together an overall good game. This is probably the most complete game I've seen them play the entire year, even though there were some lulls. But then you got to look at what Wink Martindale did to Sam Howell. Having him hold the ball, allowing the defensive line to really allowing the defensive line to get to him, to ruffle up the timing between the quarterbacks and the receivers and the defensive backs. I think they played their best game of the season this year in terms of covering and knocking away balls and just being around to make disruptive plays against the defense, against the Washington Commanders offense.
Yeah, and you mentioned they got pressure on the Washington offense. The Giants offense got going. You mentioned those big plays. There were 3 plays in a row that combined for 57 yards, back-to-back 22-yard completions, and then a 13-yard completion to Darren Waller. Darren Waller also had his first touchdown as a New York Football Giant on National Tight Ends Day. Nonetheless, he's on the field with our Paul Dottino. Let's send it down.
Nobody wanted to talk about this as a must-win, Darren, but I think in retrospect, it kind of was, wasn't it?
We approached the game just on a one-play-at-a-time mentality in the process of the game. When you focus on must-win, you put unnecessary pressure on yourself. That's not a way that I try to approach the game, but we realize that every situation, every time we step on the field is very important.
All right, how good did it feel to be the Darren Waller that everybody wanted to see? You put up a great stat line today and also caught your first Giants touchdown.
It's cool to catch a touchdown and make plays that gets the fans on their feet, give the team some momentum. I just want to be able to show them that I'm still one of those guys that can still get it done like that.
Playing with the lead, so different for this team. You've rarely had that all season long. How much of a difference did that make?
It makes a big difference. I mean, it's like it just gives you juice. It gives you different life that we haven't had in games prior because we're just fighting and trying to figure out, like, all right, how do we fix some things? How do we do this? But it gives you a different kind of energy.
And finally, Tyrod Taylor, very poised today, once again.
At all times, man. He doesn't ride that roller coaster.
Appreciate your time, Darren.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That interview from Darren Waller is brought to you by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official truck of the New York Football Giants. Great stuff from Paul Dottino
Big
with
week
Darren
for
Waller.
Darren Waller and his wife, right?
Huge week,
Kelsey
of course.
Plum.
Kelsey Plum and the Las Vegas Aces winning the WNBA championship.
Way to go, Kelsey.
And then Darren Waller out here on National Tight Ends Day getting his first touchdown as a Giant, getting the first touchdown from the Giants in the first half all season. And like he mentioned, like he said to Paul, playing with the lead, it's a little bit of different energy.
Yeah, it gives you a totally different vibe, not just offensively, but you can tell the defense was feeding off of that. And look, we're giving credit to Darren Waller for the big game and the touchdown catch. How about the throw by Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Darren Waller on the replay looking back, and he's looking for, I got a little window. That ball had to go over the defender, and it was Waller's ball or nobody's ball.
Yeah.
So perfect placement by Tyrod Taylor. And, look, this offense, I think we've seen now, even given all the rotation up front, when you stay ahead of the chains, when you don't beat yourself, you don't have the penalties, the miscues, and you're not giving up sacks left and right, it's more fun to play football that way. And defensively, they definitely fed off of it.
Yeah, and the big plays really, I think they alleviated a lot of pressure because, when you're trying to run the football and, they try to load up the box to try and stop Saquon Barkley, the 20-plus yard big plays makes that defensive coordinator on the other side think twice, and it opens up the entire field. And what you saw today, not only from Waller, but you saw Jalen Hyatt, another young rookie, making big plays, a huge play down the stretch of the
42-yard reception.
The 42-yard staying in bounds. Like, those are the types of plays that change the momentum and get everybody fired up and they get the juices flowing for the Giants. And you saw what this team was supposed to look like and what this team could look like when we get all of the injured offensive linemen back, get Daniel Jones back. This thing is looking up after a good, solid performance against the Washington
Tyrod
Commanders.
even had a big run, right?
He did.
Was
He
a
20-yard gain, and he called some number. He said, let's scramble for it. Let's make it happen. You like to see the arrow pointing up indeed. All right, friends, guest of our post-game show received a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. We've got much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live. After the break, we're going to hear from head coach Brian Daboll recapping the win 14-7 over the Washington Commanders here at MetLife Stadium. That and more on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Moderna. Today's scoring drive of the game is brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Football Giants. Citizens is made ready for Giants fans. For the drive of the game, we bring you to the second quarter. 8 plays, 88 yards, took 4 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock, capped by a 15-yard receiving touchdown by Darren Waller. The tight end gets his first touchdown as a member of the Giants on National Tight Ends Day nonetheless. Welcome back to the show. My name is Madelyn Burke. It's Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Moderna. The Giants got the 14-7 win over the visiting Washington Commanders. For more, let's send it down to the field where Paul Dottino and Brandon London are standing by.
So the Giants escape with a 14-7 win over Washington, and I think the first thing we have to talk about, Brandon, is the fact that this team set the tone defensively from the very outset. Washington had 10 offensive plays in the first quarter for 44 total yards, 5.5 minutes, 2 sacks, a pass defended, and no first downs.
Yeah. Giants came out and played fast. You wanted to see that type of tempo. They did a lot of good things. Not only on the offensive side, you wanted to see them come out with 3 points on that first drive, but defensively, Paul, Wink Martindale and this defense deserve their flowers because they came out and they put pressure on Sam Howell all day.
Wound up with 6 sacks during the course of the afternoon. Now I want to go to the other side of the ball. 20 or more yard pass plays. Giants had 5 of them in the first half. 4 of them led to their 2 touchdowns. The Giants got the ball deep tonight, and that doesn't even talk about the 43-yarder to Hyatt in the second half. Big plays mean points.
Absolutely. It's a big play league. It's hard to put together a consistent drive. They call holding on everything these days. Those are drive stoppers. So the fact that Tyrod Taylor and these Giants receivers were able to connect on these deep plays, that is great for our offense. But the biggest thing, Paul, give the offensive line their flowers. In order for you to hit a deep play, you have to give Tyrod time. Say that 5 times. But they gave him enough time for them to hit on the deep play. You saw different guys step up in big moments, and that is how you play football in the NFL.
Yeah, you had Pugh and Phillips playing at the tackles tonight, and they certainly did an adequate job. What about this secondary? Adoree Jackson misses the game because of injury, and yet the Giants' threesome at cornerback did a sensational job of keeping things under control.
Yeah, the law firm of Flott, Hawkins, and Banks, Deontay Banks, I tell you, he's got a lot of confidence. And for him to match up against Scary Terry McLaurin and to make the plays that he did, yeah, he gave some up towards the end, but we expect that out of a Terry McLaurin. Deontay Banks, Trey Hawkins, Cordell Flott, I think we're seeing the Giants DBs of the future.
Court is adjourned. The Giants secondary shut this case down. 14-7 over Washington. Back to you guys.
I like that. I like that. The Giants secondary shut this case down. What a case it was. Great stuff from Paul Dottino and Brandon London recapping this 14-7 win over the Washington Commanders. We've got much more to come. We're going to hear from head coach Brian Daboll after the break. But first, a reminder, Giants fans, limited tickets are available for remaining Giant home games at MetLife Stadium. Visit Giants.com/tickets to find your game and secure your seat. Stay with us. Giants postgame live presented by Moderna rolls on after this quick break. We'll be right back.
Let's get it, baby. Sexy Dexy here. Gotta wipe my nose. Hard fight battle tonight. 1-0 this week. Gotta keep it going.
We saw lots of that Sexy Dexy sack dance today. Giants fans, subscribe to the Giants Podcast Network for a variety of team podcasts featuring conversations with Giants players, coaches, fans, and legends. Plus, NFL analysts, business professionals, influencers, and more. It's available on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and Google. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live presented by Moderna. You get that Sexy Dexy sack dance in the
He's
commercial
doing
break.
it.
We saw lots
You're
of
trying to stay warm. I'm on to you.
I'm trying to stay warm, but this is the first time we've seen it in a while. So
Yeah,
I'm
well, we saw it.
glad we get to break it out.
It was just
again,
Christian
you know what I mean?
Wilkins doing it last time we saw it.
We saw it, and what a success it was. And for more, let's send it down to head coach Brian Daboll, who's addressing the media at the podium.
I thought we did a lot of good things. Got after the quarterback, made a critical fourth down stop at the end of the game. We played a good complementary game, had a couple turnovers, which hurt us. But the guys were ready to play. The coaching staffs on all three sides did a good job and made the plays we needed to make. You know, it was a little bit closer than it needed to be. But this is the case in the NFL.
They're like a makeshift offensive line. Talk about how they play today.
Yeah, well, look, they're pros, the guys that were out there tonight, and they worked extremely hard during the week. You know, we were a couple days of practice. We were moving guys around. We settled on it, say Thursday, of how it was going to go. If Evan couldn't go, and if he could go, then we had another kind of lineup change, if you would. But I thought, Bobby's met with those guys early and late. He's had a kind of revolving door there, and tough competitors.
What was the thinking on that with Keithan on the left and Lewinsky on the right?
Yeah, it's just something. Something we talked about as a coaching staff. I think good communication was better. Just having Pugh, a veteran, Bredesen, and Glow kind of opposite because they've worked together as well. So with Tyree back, he's only back for a week. Some code words, some things like that. Even though he picked up, I'd say almost all of it on the way back, it's still helpful to have someone right next to him that's been out there and done it veteran-wise.
You have a lot of faith in your veterans. Cano missed the field goal, Shep with the muff, and Saquon with the fumble. Is there anything different you say to your vets when they have situations like that?
Yeah, go out there and have full confidence in you the next time you step out on the field.
Coach, you had numerous first drives in the first half that stalled out. What allowed you guys to finish this time in the red zone?
Made some good plays. I thought Tyrod made a heck of a play. Waller made a great adjustment on a route on that third down. And then I thought Tyrod did a great job with his feet, his time in the passing game to get that ball to Saquon on a check down. Tyrod had a good game, played well, took care of the ball, made good decisions, threw the ball where it was supposed to be thrown. So, again, we left stuff out there. There's no question about it. We left stuff out on the field. We left points out on the field. And like you said, the missed field goal, we fumble in the red zone. But, I'll take the result.
You're looking forward to getting healthy. It seems like some guys will be coming back in the next couple of days, weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Better be healthy than not. Not talking about me, but players.
Has Tyrod made any argument for being the quarterback when Daniel gets right?
Yeah, I'd just say Tyrod had a good game this game. He's a true pro, and I'm glad we got him.
Dibs, how about Banks and the way he competes? It seems like against anyone he's matched up with, obviously.
Yeah, I'd say we have a lot of competitors. Again, it's always better when you win, but it's why they're here. It's why he's on his team, is to come out here and compete and do everything he can do to help the team win and put the team first. So it's something that's important for all of us, is to put the team first. And he does that.
Last week you were in a locker room after a very close loss. Today you're in a locker room after a very close win. I mean, how important moving forward is it to have these guys have something positive that they can use?
I'd just say it's important to prepare well, do everything you can do, lead up to the game, and try to go out there and put your best performance on the field. It doesn't always happen. It's, you know, I've said this before, it's an up and down league. It's a humbling league. But to stay consistent with your approach, even though you make slight adjustments and your belief in the players, you know, it's not for everybody. You got to be able to do that. It's not going to be perfect all the time. And there's definitely going to be some struggles. And again, 1 week has nothing to do with the next week. So whether we lost a close game to the Bills or we won this close game tonight, you know, really has no bearing on what we do next week. To keep a consistent attitude, to work with great intention, that's what's important. To get ready for a game that's going to be difficult every week, regardless of who you play, and focus on your job and putting the team first. And, you know, that's, again, it's not always easy, but that's what the job requires.
Ryan, when you talk about staying with the approach,
yeah,
when you're losing, the team's going through a losing streak, as a coach, is it a test to stay with the process, or, you know, you kind of maybe second guess, do we need to make a change?
Yeah, I think, Russ, I think it's a great question. I think you do that every week. Obviously, when you win, it's a little easier to hear, but you're always trying to, you know, tinker things, you know, practice schedules, how you meet, training, injury stuff. You're doing everything you can do each and every week to try to put the best product on the field. And, you know, you can't be influenced by losses. And that's tough because no one goes out there to try to lose a game ever in this league. You do everything you can to try to put your best performance on the field. So to stay steady in your approach, although it's not the same exact thing, Russ, you're always changing things, whether it's a lineup change, whether it's a different personnel group, whether it's a timing of the schedule, whatever it may be, you're always doing that, whether you win or whether you lose. But to have a, you know, a real positive approach, that's not always the easiest thing to do, but that's what the job entails.
So what's the issue with guys who aren't putting the team first? You've mentioned that several times.
No, none. There's no issue. We got a bunch of guys that put the team first. That's very important to us as a program.
It just sounded different in your tone.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. No, we have, I'm proud of the guys. Yeah, there's nothing like that. No, yeah, you misread that one.
Can I ask you about Hyatt?
One more time?
Can I ask you about Hyatt?
Hyatt? Yeah, made a couple good plays.
And that one that was critical.
Yeah, no, he, you know, he's, again, I told you we were going to play him. He made some plays. He's still got stuff to learn, but the way to learn it is to go out there and play. So he made it, you know, he made a couple good ones. I thought Tyrod, you know, gave him some good chances to make them too.
Why has Tyrod had success getting the ball downfield like this?
He's taking his drop back, and seen one-on-one coverage and let it go. And the receivers have made good plays. So it's all tied together, Dan. Whether it's, you know, it's not just one person or one position. It never is on offense. It takes all 11. It's you know, you can't have one guy or two guys on offense. When you usually have a guy mess up, it's usually not very good for the offense, where you can't make it up. It's just all assignment football, and he's done a good job with it.
How big was that first touchdown by Waller? Obviously, you guys have gone a while without scoring a touchdown. For the morale of that group, just for their confidence.
I figured you'd be the first one to ask that. That was great. Yeah,
Coach,
I was happy.
Do you think it was important, though, like for the morale of that group, for the confidence?
Absolutely.
How does it feel to deliver a win at home in front of these fans that haven't gotten to see maybe your best performances yet?
Yeah, well, they were great, and they have been great, and you know, we haven't given them a lot to celebrate about. So they were loud. You know, that fourth down play, they were loud, and again, I've encountered a lot of great ones, and you know, our job is to provide a good product, and certainly we left things out on the field today. So it wasn't perfect. It was a good team win. There was a lot of guys that worked hard to contribute, and I'd say the fans were a huge part of it, and I certainly appreciate them and have.
Does Saquon need any x-rays or scans on his arm?
I don't know yet, Pat. I don't know anything about injuries right now. I haven't talked to anybody.
Brian, at this point in the season, are you certain that the defense is going to go out every week and give you a chance to win?
I don't think there's any certainty in the season, ever, no matter when it is. You got to put the work in. You got to go out there and perform well. So that's, that's what it comes down to every week. I know it's a boring answer, but that's the truth.
But Daniel, you left it a question.
Hold on, go ahead.
How did
Sorry.
you feel when Leonard Williams made that blocked field goal?
I felt great. Yeah, it was great.
Couple more. With Daniel, you left it a questionable, and then obviously he didn't play today. Was there like a final check yesterday, needing a clear for contact, or was kind of what?
He got looked at, I think it was Friday, I told you guys. So didn't get cleared on Friday, so wasn't able to go.
Where does that stand going forward here for this week then?
I'll have a lot of meetings tomorrow about it, I'm sure, and the next day, but I don't have an answer for you.
Do you feel better about his chances now moving forward? Like, did he get closer this
Honestly,
week
I would be telling you something that's probably an inaccurate statement. So I'll wait until I hear from the people that know a lot more about it than I do, relative to his status or what it looked like and all those things.
Is there a chance he gets cleared early in the week?
I don't know, guys.
Coach, are you seeing a more consistent play from your defense over the last 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly been things that we've improved on in every area as a team. Today ball security was a problem for us, but we got the ball again. I think we're making small strides in different areas, and the guys are working with a great attitude and great intention. But we still got a ton to clean up from this game. But I appreciate their approach and their mindset of how they go about their business on a daily basis here.
What kind of jokes to Thibodeau for missing that interception?
All right, lock these off.
That was Giants head coach Brian Daboll. And Giants fans, check out the Coach Daboll Show presented by Ford. We'll look back at today's game and take a look ahead at next week's matchup. It's the Coach Daboll Show, airing every week on MSG Networks and the Giants YouTube channel. Stay with us. We've got much more to come here on the Giants Postgame Live presented by Moderna. We'll keep recapping the win after the break. Stay right here.
What's up? Tyrod Taylor here. Big dub. Appreciate the fans. Kept it rocking all day. Mad love.
Hey, division game, y'all know what's going on, man. Y'all. Hey, what's up, boy? You too, appreciate you, my boy. Hey, y'all see a big division win at home, man. Let's do it. Go Big Blue, man.
Great celebrations from Tyrod Taylor and Deonte Banks. And hey, today marked the Giants' first legacy game of the season. The team, of course, wore their classic blue uniforms, and the field and design and the game day entertainment was all themed from the 80s and 90s era. Plus, the first 25,000 fans in attendance also received an exclusive collectible throwback pennant courtesy of Quest. What a great accessory right here.
Like that. The 80s and the 90s. That's really cool.
I was just going to say, I feel old because when I first got here, that was just a uniform. And now all of a sudden it's a throwback.
That's what we wore.
Oh, wow. How old am I?
Do we want to answer that?
Anyway, as we're moving forward, this was a great game for the Giants.
Right? Well, hey, even though these were the uniforms of your time, so was that toe drag swag style. One guy who definitely had a play like that today, Jalen Hyatt. He was dragging his toes on the sideline for that 42-yard reception. He's speaking in the locker room right now. Let's take a listen.
Well, I dragged it, so, at first I was indecisive because they said instant replay, or I was like, man, hopefully, did I get it in? But I'm glad I got the toe drag in. We do that in practice, so I'm glad that worked.
Jalen, a wise man once said, it's not about the opportunities you get, it's about what you do with them. You are becoming a big play specialist around here. What's the key?
I'm just trying to make plays when the ball's thrown. That's it at the end of the day. We have great leaders in this room, great competitors. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make the plays that come to me. And, that's how you become elite.
Looked like Tyrod was sharp again today, put the ball right where it needed to be.
Yeah, he's a vet. He's a leader. One of the leaders on this team. We have full confidence in both of them, DJ and Tyrod, and he played a great game again.
14-0 at the half, then Washington gets the momentum, and I thought it was your catch that kind of got the momentum swinging the other way just a little bit, enough to keep them at bay. How important do you think it was in terms of the flow of the game?
Yeah, it's very important. In the league, it's so hard to get those deep passes. This is how the league is, and it's elite players all over the field. So Tyrod threw a perfect pass and came down with it, and I feel like that changed everything for us.
How good's this win feel?
Oh, it's very good. We needed a win, but, it's not about this game. It's on to the Jets. We got to start stacking some wins, and we got to start now.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Great stuff from the Giants rookie wide receiver Jalen Hyatt, who finished the day with 2 receptions for 75 yards. But, of course, that 42-yarder was really a game breaker late in the game. We saw, his ability, his deep deep threat ability. And Amani, as a wide receiver, when you're seeing what Jalin Hyatt's able to do in the open field, what do you make of that?
I just think that the ceiling of what this guy could become. I mean, he had 2 opportunities today. What if he had 6? What if he had 7? He had 75 yards for 2 catches, averaging 37.5 yards per attempt. That just you just got to salivate if you're Mike Kafka. You're like, I got a guy that no matter where I get all these big plays, he's not only just throwing him up to just kind of, for the aesthetic of it, he's actually coming down and making big plays. So that's something that it's a totally different aspect of this offense that we haven't seen in a long time. A guy that just consistently makes big plays every opportunity. Like I say every week, he deserves more.
Yeah, he's a special player, and you can kind of see it early on. We saw flashes of it against Arizona. Man, everybody knew he had speed, but you're kind of seeing him get more comfortable in the offense, getting a little more confident. And those throws outside the numbers, look, there's an art to that. There's an art to work on the sideline. You had it as a player. Yeah. I said in the break, like players used to watch Amani Toomer and how he tightrope the sideline, how he worked that body control. Not every receiver can do that. Yeah. And there's a lot of guys that may work on it and they want to get better at it, but it's kind of something you wake up and you get out of bed with it, or you either have it or you don't. And I think for Jalin Hyatt, like we've seen even the one-handed catch down in the end zone, almost hauled that in. That would have been a spectacular circus catch. Yeah. He's got those special set of skills. And to your point, like you can't feed a guy like that enough. Yeah. And when he makes a play like that, Madelyn, you feel it. Like every time Washington made us a little play and it's like, oh boy, they're clawing back into this game. It's like the Giants had found a way to respond, and Jalin Hyatt was a big part of that.
Highlight Hyatt. That's
Highlight Hyatt.
Yeah.
Coin it, stamp it, trademark it, copyright. Listen, the Giants got the offense going today, but of course the Giants defense also was going. They were playing some complimentary football. They held Washington to just 1 of 15 on 3rd down. They got a lot of pressure on quarterback Sam Howell, and our Paul Dottino is in the locker room with Kayvon Thibodeau right now. Let's send it down.
Kayvon, how important was it not just to close the deal defensively at the end of the game, but to set the tone in the first quarter where it looked like you really showed Washington it was going to be a tough day?
I think that's the defense we're turning into, being able to start off hot, start off fast, and carry that momentum. So, last year was about bringing them to the deep end, and this year it's about hitting them in their mouth first.
People will say, look, 6 sacks, wow, that's a great number, but you have said all along this defense has been getting close, and you've done a lot of things that you've tried to do. So what was the difference in terms of the stats today, why the sacks happened?
I think we were just able to take advantage of some of the things we saw on film, and, dudes executed. Dex played, like an all-pro. And give it to your coverage. Coverage was locked down, which made us, able to get there. So, yeah.
Especially knowing that Adoree Jackson, your veteran back there, was out. You had a lot of inexperience, and those guys held up.
Yeah, I think that's a great moment, to show that this time last year, they were telling me I'm not a rookie anymore, and now it's to the next guys to let them know that now it's time, for them to play their best ball.
What about the rush defense? Because obviously making Washington one-dimensional was a big key.
The coaching. I give it to Wink. Wink was calling it up. Wink was doing everything, and yeah, Daves, I know. But no, Wink was calling a great play and a great game, and everything was working.
Finally, what was the key on the last series where it was a bend but don't break? They got it into your territory, but they couldn't punch it in.
You need big-time players to make big-time plays, and the guys did that. I don't know, was that Jason Pinnock on that last play? Yeah, he's a big-time guy, and he stepped up to the plate, and even the other guys rushing. We put the pressure, and it was incomplete. So
how important
did you see on the pick there? Was your eyes getting a little too big for the stomach?
I knew that was going to come. Man, it went from an interception to a punt return, and I saw the open grass, and I saw the blockers, and I looked up, and shit just hit me in the stomach. But yeah, we got to get back. I'm weak for that. So yeah, y'all out there, I'm weak for that. I know.
What does it say about you guys? Overcame some stuff. I mean, obviously Shep had the fumble. Saquon.
Yeah, see, Shep got one too. So you know what I'm saying? Ours was similar. But ain't nobody mad at him.
To overcome that for you guys, what does that say? Because
listen, it's a team game, man. We know things are gonna happen in the course of the game. Shep is a competitor, so. Nobody faults him for that. Things happened, and as the defense, we knew that, okay, we got to step up one more time.
That's Kayvon Thibodeau in the locker room with our Paul Dottino and answering questions from the media. Of course, he's a little bummed that interception slipped through his fingers, but he did get a sack and a half today, bringing his season total up to 5.5 on the season. He had 4 total last year in his rookie year. So great to see from Kayvon Thibodeau and this Giants defense in the win. After the break, though, we're going to hear from Giants running back Saquon Barkley. That and much more on Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. Stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccine scenes because you've got no time for 19. Giants Postgame Live is brought to you by Moderna. We'll keep recapping this Giants win and look ahead to next week. Stay with us here on Giants Postgame Live.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you win, it feels good. Winning makes everything feel better. We play great. Obviously, there's a lot of things we can improve on, get better, but anytime you're going to win, especially against a division opponent, it's a big thing.
Could you take me through your touchdown? Obviously, not just a big play because of the yardage, but also because it put you guys 2 scores up.
Yeah, got one-on-one with linebacker, made a move. Ty did a really good job sticking with me, put on my body, and was able to hit me on the run. Made a guy miss and was able to find end zone.
I thought Tyrod showed a lot of poise again today, second week in a row, where it seemed like he really had good command of the offense. You guys had good balance, and you were able to move the ball effectively, although got a little struggling in the second half. It was a winning effort.
That's Tyrod. He's smooth, even kill, always stay in the moment. He's a pro's pro, and happy for him. He comes in every single day, one of the first persons in, works his tail off. Been a great vet, been a great leader, and helped us get a win today. So,
what can you say about this offensive line? Juggled again like a jigsaw puzzle, but they did enough to help you guys win.
I don't think they get enough credit. It's a lot. It's easier to when you're not in their shoes to look on the outside and have opinions and say this and say that, but that's probably the hardest position to just be bounced around and play right, play left, play guard, play tackle. You got 5 guys that got to be all on one page, and we've already had, I think today is like our 7th combination we had as an offensive line. So I tip my hats off to all those guys. Obviously it hasn't been as great as they would probably like, but they come to work every single day, improve, and on that field they compete and they fight, and that's all we can ask for them. And
Coach talks about complimentary football all the time. You had complimentary football today. Defense set the tone early, held on at the end. You even had a blocked field goal on specials. How important is that to get the complete package?
That's how you win football games. That's something we haven't been doing. And obviously we didn't win 40-0 or we didn't blow a team out. But at the end of the day, we got a dub, and that's what we got to continue to do the rest of the season. Just lean on each other. When the defense make a play, we go out there and respond, and sometimes we're going to need defense to pick us up, and vice versa. And same thing with special teams.
Saquon, you had a few things.
That was Saquon Barkley with our Paul Dottino in the locker room after he had 77 rushing yards on 21 attempts, adding another 41 yards in receiving game, including a 32-yard touchdown to put the Giants up 14-0 in the first half. Sean, when we look at what Saquon Barkley can do when he's getting going, we talked about this earlier in the week on the Coach Dable show. We thought he'd go over his average against the Commanders, which is 129, I believe it was. But he had 118 from scrimmage. It's still nothing to scoff at.
No, he was right on par. And look, I think if you're Saquon Barkley, you want to play Washington every week because coming into the game, he was averaging almost 6 yards a carry against the Washington Commanders throughout his career. Of course, he set the franchise record for most scrimmage yards in the game, 279 back in 2019. So he fares well against the burgundy and gold, we're going to call him, I guess.
Yeah.
I think for Saquon, he was very decisive today. Like, you did not see any dancing around. You didn't see, he was decisive. Boom, he got vertical. I think that definitely helps in the run game. And he understood what was the task ahead with Tyree Phillips basically making his first start at right tackle this season. He just signed on Tuesday, a shuffle with McKeithen in a left guard. So, all right, look, it's going to be tough sledding there at times, but I think the big play potential that Saquon, we've always talked about Saquon having, and that everybody gets so excited when you talk about, we saw it today with that pass, with that reception that he talked about. Tyrod put it right on me. So that was good. It's good to see Saquon healthy. He's got a great burst. Obviously, this offense kind of revolves around him, but I think when he is doing well, then it kind of makes the offense really function and makes Tyrod a lot more effective.
Yeah, and Tyrod definitely was effective today, very efficient with the ball. Every time there was a situation that was a little bit out of the ordinary, he seemed to make the right choice all the time, throw the ball away, take the sack, and also when he got enough space, and some of the time to extend the play a little bit, to drop off the ball to get a first down or two. Those are the little things that he did today that kept drives alive, getting the big plays, the chunk plays that we hadn't gotten so far. We were the lowest in the entire league in chunk plays coming into today. I think we'll move out of the cellar, hopefully. But I feel like Tyrod has a good combination of knowing what to do with the ball and knowing when to take the chances down the field. And I think that's what he did today really well, keeping the Washington a little bit off balance more so than
very accurate.
Than just
on a windy day.
Yeah,
it's very accurate.
As you can see, it's a very windy day up here.
We're bolted down.
We are bolted down.
Yeah.
The Giants got those chunk plays, so they had 6 plays of 20 or more yards. That's the most since 2019. Also against Washington. But let's send it down to the podium now, where the quarterback Tyrod Taylor is addressing the media.
Felt good. I mean, anytime you can win at home always is big, and especially just the way our season been going. Not being on the winning side of things, we've done some good things throughout the season, but haven't been able to put a full game together. And today, I think, was a true testament to us playing complementary football, defense, special teams creating plays, as well as us doing some things on offense.
What allowed the offense to be so successful in the first half compared to past weeks?
It's an attitude, and I think the attitude starts up front. The guys on the offensive line did a great job of run blocking and pass blocking, creating opportunities for us to push the ball downfield. And guys made plays, whether it was contested catches or run after catch. They done a great job.
Talk about Jalen Tyrod.
I mean, one of the fastest guys on the field, if not the fastest, at any given point. So you get a chance to get him one-on-one down the field. My conversation with him is, I'm going to give you a chance. It's you or nobody. And we've seen that even right before the half. Gave him a chance down there one-on-one with the safety, and he broke up that pass. But obviously he was able to connect. We was able to connect on 2 deep balls down on their sideline.
Tyrod, that one play, was that you saw the safety kind of come down on that and you sort of one-on-one?
Yes. They tried to hide. Yeah, they tried to hide the coverage, which they do a great job of disguising. It's a great defense. They play fast, and something that we've seen on tape that we be able to exploit if we get the opportunity to do so.
What does that do for the confidence level?
That was Tyrod Taylor, the quarterback who finished the game 18 of 29 for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He added 8 rushing attempts for 25 yards, as well as the Giants got the 14-7 win over the Washington Commanders, a division win at home at MetLife Stadium. And Giants fans, make sure to subscribe to Giants text alerts for breaking news, ticket offers, game day updates, and more. Just scan the QR code on your screen or text 201-636-1569 to subscribe. We've got much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Moderna. Stay right there. Time now for the HCL Player of the Game, presented by HCL Tech, supercharging progress, the official digital transformation partner of the New York Giants. Player of the game, of course, none other than one Leonard Williams. 2 tackles, 1 sack, and a pivotal blocked field goal. The first blocked field goal since 2017. Great game from Big Cat Leonard Williams. Well, Kerry Wynn, Kerry Wynn got the block back in 2017. Leonard Williams does it in 2023 as the Giants get the 14-7 win over the Commanders. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live. Let's send it down to the locker room where fellow defender Bobby Okereke is speaking with the media.
We've put an emphasis on starting fast all year, and to come out here and do that defensively, especially with the physicality we played with, that just brought a lot of energy for our team. And we played complementary football. We've been talking about it all year, and that's how we're going to continue to get wins.
Robinson could not run the ball in the first quarter or in the first half, really, to be honest. Yep. McLaurin was shut out in the first half. Yep. I mean, when you can do that, that's a hell of a job, and it basically changes the whole complexion of the game from that point forward.
100%, and I thought our offense did a great job. Like I said, complementary football. We just keep getting 3 and outs, stop the run, trying to make teams one-dimensional, and you let our offense do the rest.
All right, let's go back to the final drive of the fourth quarter. They did make it scary.
Yep.
The crowd had to get into it because you made them nervous.
Yep.
What about the last series of downs when they got into the red zone?
Yeah, I just showed resilience from our team. Starting with our coaching staff, I think Wink put a great game plan together all week. And, those last play calls, we play aggressively to win. We don't play passively not to lose. So we were getting after it. And just the execution across the board was great and got us the win.
So you defensive players now, you're going to give Leonard Marshall a little bouquet, Leonard Williams a bouquet of flowers for blocking a field goal. I mean, special teams.
For sure. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, blocked field goal. I mean, he had a TFL. I think he had a sack, however many tackles. A lot of guys in this defense are having success, and it's very fun to see.
Yeah, tell me about what Dexter Lawrence did today, because you were right behind him. You got a first-hand look, much better than I did. He was dominant.
No, he was, the center was he was in hell all day. But it was fun. Playing behind Dexter is so fun because he lets me play free, lets me run around, and, I just love playing with him.
All right, so you're missing Adoree Jackson, the veteran in your secondary, so the young guys have to step up, and yet I think this game pretty much went along to your blueprints. This is what the Giants defense is supposed to do, right?
100%.
So how'd that happen?
Everybody stepped up. Everybody executed. We had a great game plan by our coaches all week. Hard work and practice, and we came out here with confidence on game day.
So do you buy into that momentum thing? Because it looks like the last 3 of the last 4 weeks, this defense is playing an awful lot better.
No, for sure. I had a college strength coach tell me, you build on the pride of improvement and enjoy the respect earned from achievement. So, we're just going to continue to do that, keep working hard, and reap what we sow.
Enjoy it, Bobby. Thanks.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
That was Giants linebacker Bobby Okereke with Paul Dottino coming off the day with 11 total tackles and a pass defensed in the Giants' 14-7 win over the Commanders. We got much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, presented by Moderna. Stay with us. We'll be back with more after this quick break. Hey Giants fans, check out the Eli Manning Show presented by Panini Prism Trading Cards. All you have to do is subscribe to the Giants YouTube channel to catch all of the new shows. It's the Eli Manning Show. Subscribe today. And make sure next Sunday you check out the Giants. They're going to be marvelizing their game day experience with branding, character appearances, and activations in partnership with Marvel. The first 25,000 fans will receive a custom Eli Manning superhero poster courtesy of Invisalign. It's Giants versus Jets at 1 p.m. right back here at MetLife Stadium. Madelyn Burke, Sean O'Hara, Amani Toomer. One more home game coming our way next week. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, I can't wait for the, this is the MetLife Bowl right here.
Yeah?
Giants and Jets, and they're handing out E-Man costumes. I want an E-Man costume. I'll probably show up in my Hulk smash, my Incredible Hulk, because I think that's what the Giants want to do.
I think when you lost all the weight, you lost the Hulk. It's not going to work anymore.
You wouldn't like it when I'm angry?
Yeah, maybe you have to get a little bit angry.
I'll have to put on a little weight.
If anything, I'll be showing up in a bigger coat if it's going to be this cold and this windy right there.
Yeah. I'm really glad I have this hat on because I can see it going through guys' hair. Ooh.
Yeah.
But Giants, Jets are coming off a bye.
Yes, well-rested.
Well-rested.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sauce Gardner will be back, so that'll be a great matchup to watch. Him against probably Jalen Hyatt. But really, it's Quincy Williams who's playing phenomenally for the Jets defense, along with Quinn inside. Really look, this offensive line's got to do just as good a job protecting the quarterback.
Absolutely, and we'll see if the Giants can get healthy, a couple healthy players back. Next week, we'll be here after that one. Before we go, I want to wish a very happy birthday to our producer, Dan Culleney. That's our show today. For Amani and Sean, I'm Madelyn Burke. It's Giants Postgame Live.